This is episode 143 of the Beyond the Food Show, and today I answer a listener's question, but a question that I've never thought I would answer on this podcast. And the question was, what are your favorite things, Stephanie? So, because I'm there for you, I'm going to answer that question. So you ready? Let's do this. My name is Stephanie Dodier, clinical nutritionist. I reversed my diagnosis of anxiety, depression, adrenal fatigue, and obesity by going beyond the food. I can tell you one thing, that willpower, discipline, and deprivation aren't the permanent solution to transforming your relationship to food. So how do you leave overeating, emotional eating, food craving, and binging behind you so you have the food freedom to achieve all of your goal and be happy now? As a top 25 alternative health podcast in the world, this is the Beyond the Food Show. I have created an audio training entitled How to Change Any Eating Habit, specifically the one that is sabotaging you. 3 strategies to create the consistency and confidence you need to change your eating habit without willpower or discipline. I did this in order to help women like yourself engage with food in a completely different perspective so that they stop craving, overeating, binging, and using food to feel better. You can put an end to the cycle of frustration, the all or nothing mindset, and shame towards your own body and become a motivated, consistent, focused, and self-loving version of yourself. This free audio training is about the why we eat, how we eat, so that the what we eat can be easy, effortless, and pleasurable. So if you are ready to step into the new version of yourself so that you can change how you interact with food, head over to stephaniedodier.com/training right now. Ladies, welcome into the show. And as I said, this is kind of a weird show for me because it's not going to be about eating behavior. It's not going to be about mindset. It's not going to be about any of this. This is about Stephanie sharing with you her favorite things. I didn't think any of you would be interested. So this is a new arena for me to play into. But, I'm there for you. I'm going to answer all of your questions as I promised. So this is about all of my favorite things. The things that I can't live without, the things that I use daily, the things that I recommend to people, the things that make me more productive. I think that's a big theme of those favorite things. So to Jenny and Julie that asked me that question, and to the other Academy student that popped in and told me everything they wanted to know, this is for you. Now, one of the sub-questions to this, Jenny wanted to know how I do it all. Like, how am I on being social media, on podcasts, and teaching and lecturing and traveling and doing it all? Like, what do I use to get it all done? That was the underlying question. And before I get into the actual things, which is not really things, you'll see what I mean in a short while here, but alignment. I wanted to give you a few seconds on alignment. You know me, I can't get away from mindset, but how do I do it all? I am in alignment. I am in alignment in my personal life and my professional life. So I don't live in a state of duality. What I do in my personal life is what I do in my professional life. So the passion that I exude when I talk to you, when I teach you, when I coach you, or when I'm on social media is who I am on a day-to-day life. And because of this alignment, it doesn't require as much energy as when you, like I used to do when I work in the corporate world, have to put up a front, right? You have to be one person at work and one person in your personal life. So how do I do it all? I'm fully aligned. Now, I've worked really hard not hard in the sense of laboring and sweating, but really hard on my own self, my being, my soul, my spirit to get there. So there's a lot of self-discovery. There's a lot of mindset shift, a lot of way of being that I had to change to get to where I am today. And I think that's what I do in teaching you, right? When I talk about mindset, when I talk about looking below the behavior of functional coaching, I'm kind of taking you on the road that I needed to go through to get to where I am today. And I'll be in a different place in 5 years. And hopefully I'll be teaching that in 5 years from now, right? So how do I do it all? I do it all because I'm seeking alignment. And because I am passionate about sharing that message with all of you, I seek to be efficient. Now, I'm not efficient all the time, but I seek to be efficient and productive so I can teach more, I can influence more, I can motivate and inspire you even more. And to do that, there's a lot of things that I use in my life, a lot of technology that I use in my life to make me more efficient so I can live my passion every day. So just an example of that, before we get into all my favorite things, is shopping, right? So if you were to dial back the clock 8 years ago, I would have said to you, shopping is a hobby of mine. Like, I loved to go in shopping mall and browse around and shop. That was a thing that I love to do. And in reflection, I used to do that because it took me away from where I was, and it put me in this place of dreaming and shopping, Today, I cannot even remember the last time I shopped in a shopping mall, because where I am right now, shopping is not an alignment to where I'm going or to what I do. Therefore, I don't seek it or desire it anymore, right? So there's a lot of the time that I used to spend doing those things, and I now spend writing, creating podcast episodes or courses or mentoring or coaching, because that's what I love now. You know what I'm saying by alignment? So now, instead of going into a mall and shopping, because I still need to buy stuff, I do it on an app on my phone. And it takes me 5 minutes instead of half a day to a day, which I used to easily spend a whole day shopping in a big shopping mall. I used to drive and shop in big shopping mall. Now I've gained back those 8 hours because it takes me 10 minutes on Amazon to buy everything that I need. I hope that makes sense to you, but that's what I want to say about alignment. The second thing I want to share with all of you is I've got 15 years of training in the corporate world. So one of the mindset act that I live with is there's no regret, right? So you hear me a lot talking about my corporate world and how different I was back then. But one of the things that it taught me is how to be productive and effective. Because when you work in a corporate environment, it's all about profitability. It's all about making more with nothing. So it taught me how to be efficient and productive. And I'll get into that in my favorite things in my work environment and what I use to be more productive and effective so I can create more and be with you more. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. Now, let's start diving into my favorite things, and let's look at it from a world of work. Again, to answer Jenny's question, how do I do it all? Where, first of all, I'm not alone. Some of you may not know this, but I have a team of people. I have peeps on my team that helps me. Some of you may know my second hand, my better half, my assistant. Her name is Jed. She works for me full time, and she makes everything happen. She allows me to write and create because she takes care of all the operation. So that's one team member. Then I also have Will. Will is my web manager. He does everything website, all of you that are in my course, all the back end, the online learning platform, and all the technology we use to deliver this amazing teaching content to you in a very easy to use form. It's because of Will. And then we have Mel. Mel is my designer. He's the one who makes sure that everything that goes out to you is on brand with my colors, with my fonts. He creates all the images and all the quotes for the podcasts. And then we have Van. Van right now is editing the audio track for this podcast. So Van is my podcast editor. So all I do when I do the podcast is I put the mic on, I blabber in the mic for 20, 30, 40 minutes, and I close the mic and I send him the file. And he makes it all happen in the back end and makes it sound all pretty. So I am not alone, Jenny. There's a team of people who work with me. And within that team, we use technology like crazy. So we use things such as Dropbox, which is an online filing system. For all of you that works with the team Slack, Slack is a free online application that you can use to communicate between the teams and share a file and talk to each other. It's amazing. So Slack. Then we use Zoom. So for all of my students, you know that Zoom is my online clinic where it's a bit like Skype, but more private, in which I can broadcast and talk to people, either audio or visual. Then we use Asana. Asana is like a big online agenda where everybody shares the same agenda, and then we put our things to do in there and they all interact with each other. Coolest thing ever, a huge project management tool that we use in our team. And then we use Zendesk. Zendesk is this platform where if you send me an email or you're in one of my course and you have a problem and you send support an email, it goes through this app called Zendesk where all of us can see the email and talk to each other through that email to answer your question, your concern, or your problems or whatever that you want to know. We all use that. So we don't have to have like a ton of emails in our inbox. I don't like emails. I'm not good with emails. I'm like always 200 emails behind. So Zendesk is like a blessing for us. And the last thing we use is Google Calendar. So for those of you who want to be more productive, the first thing I'm going to tell you is start planning your time. And Google Calendar, my life is in there. If you had access to my Google Calendar right now, you would see everything from my meditation time, from my time that I'm doing movement and the time that I'm reading to the time that I'm taking courses, that I see patients, that I teach classes. Everything is in my Google Calendar and allows me to make time for everything. So big hack is using an electronic calendar. My phone is where all of this resides in. Like I'm a huge app fan. And you'll see that even in my quote unquote personal life, I use apps everywhere. So all of those business apps that I talk to you are all on my phone. So that's a big hack for being more productive. Now I talked a little bit about shopping earlier. So I can't remember the last time I went into a mall, and the stores that I frequent the most are the grocery store. Beyond that, I don't shop in physical stores. So I buy all of my clothes online. All of the stuff for the house comes from online. The only thing I really go to the grocery store for is fresh product. Beyond that, everything else is online. So I use Amazon. In Canada, I'll use Natural Market, which is kind of a tribe that you have in the US, but for Canada. And then when I'm in the US, I'll use Tribe USA. I have an account with them as well. As far as clothes are concerned, I mean, I shop in various different stores, but one of my favorite store online for women's clothes is Illaquai. They have beautiful design clothes that are very comfortable and that also come out very good on camera, because But to face it, everything above waist for me most of the time is on some kind of photo camera. So Eloquii is a great store that I shop at. So now let's talk about health. So one of my favorite things in the world of health is something that I don't have yet. Crazy, right? But I supported a company called Oura Ring. Oura, Oura Ring. They manufactured rings that actually monitor your heart rate variability, like how your heart rate changed throughout the day. And it monitors your steps, it monitors your body temperature, it monitors all kinds of body marker. And I have been waiting for that ring for 6 months now. It was in production, so I should get it anytime soon. But I'm a geek. I love monitoring my different body marker, right? So right now I'm using the health app within my iPhone, but very shortly I'll be upgrading to that Oura Ring. And you're going to hear a lot more about that on the podcast because I think I'm going to do some self-testing, but there's a lot of research right now demonstrating a correlation between your heart rate variability, how your heart rate changes throughout the day, and your emotion. So I think this is going to take a lot of space in the future because we can learn a lot from our heart rate and the emotion that we're feeling. So a lot more to come on that. So yeah, I have a favorite things that I don't have yet. Crazy, but this is coming. Now, as far as movement, for those who know me, I don't talk about exercise, I talk about movement. So my favorite thing that I do in movement is actually an app. Yep, it's an app. It's Gaia. Gaia is an app that I use to have yoga on my laptop that I can take with me anywhere that I am in the world. They also have movies, documentaries, they have body work, exercise routine that you can do. There's Pilates on there, there's Tai Chi, there's meditation, there's all kinds of stuff. And it's only $12 a month. So if you go to the show notes at stephaniedodier.com/143, you'll be able to download a document. So we created a whole document, PDF, that you can print, and you will have all the name of the things I'm going to mention today and all the links. So in this case, there's a special offer because I'm partnering with them. I've been with them for years. And you can try Gaia for 99 cents for the first month to see if you like it. And if you don't like it, you can unplug yourself from it, I guess. And then after that, it's $12.99 a month. So go give it a try. I also go to a local yoga studio here where I am or wherever I am in the world. And I also use a walking app. So it's Under Armour app for walking. It's free. And it allows me to monitor not only my step, but my speed of my walking and my heart rate as well when I wear my sensor of the different part of my walk when I go up the hill and down the hill. So I really love this app. And it's about monitoring. There's also a section where you can put how you felt. So it's kind of a journaling, electronic journal of my walking. So there's a lot of commentary on this app for me about how my body felt in the different time that I went walking. The next thing I want to share with you is one of those things that I can't live without. Like this one, I bring with me everywhere. It's not an app, it's a thing, it's a physical thing, and I take it with me everywhere. Ready for this? It's called Living Libation. Living Libation is a Canadian company of essential oil. It is not an MLM structure. It is pure product that you can buy from an online store. They also have a physical store in California, but mostly of their business is done online. And they produce the most amazing blends of essential oil. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me, I have in my hand right now a tonic blend of essential oil in a roller format that I roll on me before me recording any podcast or doing any live training session or lecturing because it gives you energy. Essential oil are natural. Obviously, it's herbs and flowers and trees and nature plants that have been condense, I guess, into taking out their superpower, their essential component that allows us to feel better, to heal, right? In herbal therapy, we use herbs and their extract component to heal people. Well, essential oil, the same thing. They can make you have more energy. They can increase your moods. I take them with me everywhere. I put them particularly on flight, either to protect me from the nasty air in the flights or just to relax me if I'm anxious on a flight. So I've put the link in the document. Living Libation is my favorite essential oil, and they come with me everywhere that I go. Now, when it comes to health, another thing that I do to be more productive is I shop all my supplement online. So I've created online dispensaries for my Canadian and my US patients, and I use it for myself. So I order all my supplements online, and here's a cool thing. In this particular online supplement, which you'll have access in the document, you can set up prescription reminder to remind you before you run out. Hey, it's sending you an email saying, hey, in 15 days or 2 weeks, you will run out of vitamin C based on the dosage that you're taking. Do you want to renew? You never run out of stuff with this app. It's so wonderful. So if you want to go check it out and you open your account and you order your stuff, you don't have to have me telling you what to order. You can order it. Make sure that you set up the reminder, and it will send you an email. And all you have to do is open the email, says, yes, I want more, let's say 2 more bottle. And then you press enter. And because it has your credit card in the back, boom, bang, the order gets placed. And it took you 10 seconds to shop for your supplement. That's productivity. So that's another thing that I use. Now, the next segment is I want to talk about mind. And I'm a big proponent of the mind. I'm a big proponent of mindfulness. And one of the things that I use is a brain band. It's a band that you put around your head called Muse, M-U-S-E. And it's literally, it looks like a spaceship thing. Literally, it's a headband that you put on your forehead. It goes right behind your ear. And it's connected to your phone. And in your phone, you have an app that actually plays either guided meditation or kind of soft meditation type of music. But this brain strap that you put on your forehead actually measure your brain wave and how your brain is reacting to the meditation and how deeply you go into the different level of the brain and the brainwave. So it's a pretty cool thing. I've talked a lot about it when I started using it. I've been a bit more quiet on it, but I do it every morning. That's the way that I meditate. So go check it out. It's called Muse. It's a headband, and it allows you to take your meditation to the next level. Another thing that I use, again, it's an app. It's on my phone. It's called the Chill app. And it's a free app, and it allows you to send yourself reminder every so often during the day to take a breath and to come back to a neutral body position and to relax, roll back your shoulders. So there's different messages you can set it up with. So I have it every 2 hours, sending me a reminder to take a deep breath and come back to a neutral space. So it's a pretty cool thing. And then another thing that I use, it's a brainwave app. So what is brainwave? Brainwave is actually how we measure the activity in your brain. So there is wave, there's electricity, if you want to see it as that, in your brain right now. And what they did with this app is they have sound that match the different type of waves that are going on into your brain to help you achieve a particular state. So when you're in a state of sleeping, for an example, you have certain brain waves, certain brain activity into your brain at that moment where you're sleeping. So what this app does, it reproduces that type of brain wave into a sound, and then you can put it into your ear and then engage your brain to go in that state of being asleep, being relaxed, right? it actually remodulates your brain from where you are at to where you want to be. So it's short session. It can be as short as 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, where you can just pop it on and get you, if you're really stressed, into a state of relaxation. Totally free. And I gave you the link into the PDF document that is available at stephaniedose.com/143. Free app from the App Store. Now, the second to last section I wanted to talk about was actually travel, because that's what Julie asked, particularly in her question, is how do I stay healthy when I travel? I wrote a long blog post on that years ago when I started to travel more in this new world of health. And you can find it at stephaniedose.com/healthy travel food ultimate guide. It's also going to be in the PDF you can download at stephaniedose.com/143. So I'm not going to repeat everything that's in the blog post, but everything that I do from a food perspective is inside of that blog post. What I eat, what I recommend to eat, what I take with me, how I go through custom with food, or security, I guess, not just custom, and not get arrested by the security people. All that stuff is in that blog post. So go check it out. But beyond that, there's a couple of other things that I do to make my travel easy and pleasurable. Number one, I use an app called Skyscanner. Skyscanner is an app that search for the best price for your airline ticket for you. It scans literally every single airline available on this planet, no matter where you are in the world, and it gives you the best price. And it sends you an alert. Let's say you want to go somewhere, you can set it up, and it sends you an alert when the price goes up or goes down. And it also provides you with a trend. So it'll tell you it's best to buy that ticket into 2 weeks. That's typically when the price is cheaper. So I don't spend hours and hours researching airline ticket. I put in Skyscanner where I want to go, and I let it do its thing, and it tells me when it's the best time to buy it. A pretty cool thing. The second thing that I do is I barely go into hotels unless it is paid by the organization of the company that I go speak for. Otherwise, I'm always in Airbnb, and I always have the option business travel. So when you go in Airbnb, you can click business travel, and it gives you the recommended place that have high-speed internet, that have kitchen, that have grocery store around. It's made specially for business traveler. So when I do a search on Airbnb, I do business travel, and it always gets me to the best place. And I've never had any issue with any of the place that I stayed at. The last thing that I do is always use Uber or Lyft. So I have those two apps on my phone. No matter where I get between those two apps, I can just quickly call in a cab, call in an Uber, and don't have to research and worry how I'm going to get from point A to point B. Done for me, one click away. So that was the travel section. But go check out the blog posts. That's where you're going to find all the nuggets about health and food on the road. Now, the last section I want to talk to you about is beauty. And that was a question, I think, from Christy. Christy wanted me to talk about my favorite things when it comes to my beauty routine. Again, I have an entire post that I wrote on that a year and a half ago, and it's going to be in the document, the PDF document that you can go get. And it actually is a video. I filmed the video with my iPhone of me doing my entire beauty routine from beginning to end in my bathrobe with my towel on my hand, and you're in my shower with me. I'm not naked, but you're in my shower with me. So it's every step of the way. So you want to go check out that blog post. The video is inside of it. But here's 3 of my favorite things when it comes to beauty. Beauty counter. So I wrote a blog post a year and a half ago as to why I ditched coconut oil. When it came to my beauty from 6 years ago up to a year and a half ago, I used coconut oil for everything. Taking off my makeup, hydrating, it was coconut oil everywhere. And I got tired of it, to be honest with you, because A, it's not convenient. B, it's messy. And I don't know how many shirts I stained from having coconut oil on me. And it's not fun. Let's be honest with each other. It's not as fun as using beauty product. And I know I'm going to be a bit vain here, but you know what I'm saying, ladies? Like, it's nice to have a nice little jar of beauty product and a mask. And anyway, I made a choice a year and a half ago when Beautycounter came into my life to ditch the coconut oil and start using products that are safe, because Beautycounter products are safe. They don't have all the chemicals that can hurt your hormones or that can toxify your health in general, right? That it is heavy metals, that it is preservative, that it is thickener that they use in traditional cosmetics product. None of that is there. So I gradually, in the course of 6 months, changed all my product, from my body soap to my shampoo to my colored cosmetics to my skincare to Beautycounter, not except. Deodorant is the only place, or the only thing that Beautycounter doesn't have. So I'm still using a product from a company called Fat Co. It's the Stank Stop, literally like stanking stop. It's a white paste made out of, I think there is bicarbonate and there is coconut oil in it, but it's the most amazing thing for your pits. And you never smell with that thing. So I've linked it in the PDF that you can find at stephaniedozzi.com/143. It's called Fatco and it's Stank Stop. The best natural deodorant. You can do anything with that thing and you'll never smell. And then the last thing that I use for my beauty, I've already talked to you about, is Living Libation. Living Libation has beauty product that they're making from their essential oil that are absolutely amazing. So currently I just received an order with a serum for my hair. I don't like to spend a lot of time doing my hair in the morning, but with the serum, you can rub it into your hand and then just style your hair like if you had gel, all natural product, and it actually at the same time nourish your hair. It's a pretty cool thing. And they also have dry shampoo. Why has nobody told me about dry shampoo up to a month ago? One of my friends, Sean Miner, posted something on her feed on Instagram that she's using dry shampoo and it gives her volume in her hair. I'm like, what? What is dry shampoo and how do I use this again? And I discovered dry shampoo and I ordered it from Living Libation. They make it. It smells amazing. And it saves me 1 to 2 wash a week. Like, seriously, why has nobody told me that before? So I had to say that on this part of my favorite things. Just discovered dry shampoo, love it. And I use the Living Libation product. So that's my beauty routine, but a lot more detail in the blog post if you want to go and check it out. So there you have it. These were my favorite things as of now in 2018. In a year from now, it's probably going to be totally different. And that's okay. But I hope, girls, Jenny, Christy, and Julie, that I answered your question. And if you're listening to this and you say, oh my God, she didn't talk about XYZ part of her life, let me know. Come on Instagram, DM me and tell me, hey, Stephanie, I want you to talk about X, Y, and Z. And I'll do another show on it. Maybe not right away, but in a few weeks or a few months, I'll do another show and talk about that. It's all about serving you. So let me know. A couple things before we go. Number one, leave me a review. I would really, really appreciate if you like the show, you're enjoying it, you're learning from it, a review would go a great way for help me rank the show and have more women discover this podcast. So you can go to my website, stephaniedozzi.com/review, and I'll take you right to iTunes where you can leave us a review. We've got a great show coming up. In the next episode, 144, it's another new style of episode that I've never done before. I'm into this new creation mode, I guess, right now. It's a collaboration. I've asked the same question to a different number of influencer online and got their answer on audio, and I'm going to make a complete podcast out of this. So here's the question I ask. What mindset shift did you have to do that you believe have attributed to your success with changing your relationship to food and going beyond the food? So it's the mindset shift of the successful people. These are all the people that I follow that are my friend or that you follow. And I've asked them that question and they answered me honestly and raw. And I'm going to put this together and create this podcast episode called The Mindset Shift of the Successful People. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you next week on episode 144. And until then, I love you, ladies. Thank you very much for being here with me. And I'm looking forward to hang out with you on the next episode. My first diet was at 14 years old. I spent years trying to figure out what was the right diet for me, the right quantity of food to eat, when to eat it. What's worse is that I was seeing the same in my patients. I struggled with craving, overeating unhealthy food, emotional eating, and binging no matter what diet I was on. Keto, paleo, organic, whole food, nothing was stopping it. No one spoke about struggling, and I felt so alone and broken. And you may be feeling the same. Maybe you're thinking the more restriction has to be the solution. If only I could be tougher with myself, I wouldn't crave and have those urges. And if it doesn't stop right now, where are you going to end up? You see, what most struggling women never ever realize is that your relationship to food is simply a reflection to your relationship with yourself. Sadly, most people rely on outdated strategy like restriction, dieting, willpower, and discipline, and they think that is the solution. Things like black and white mindset, diet pills, or cheat days to control their urges. But you and I both know that being a normal eater is nothing but that. So that's why I want to peel back the curtain and show you exactly how I have changed my relationship to food and how I teach my student to stop overeating, binging, and emotional eating to move to food freedom. And quite frankly, it's different from anything you've ever heard before. I have created an audio training program entitled How to Change Any Eating Habit, specifically the one that is sabotaging you. And inside of that training, I'll show you the 3 strategies that I use and that I teach that create consistency and confidence that you need to change your eating habit without willpower and discipline. Plus, I'll coach you on specific exercise you need to do in order to implement these strategies successfully in your own life. In order to help women like yourself engage with food in a completely different perspective so that you can stop craving, overeating, binging, and using food to feel better. So if you are ready to step into a new version of yourself that can change permanently the relationship to food that you have right now, head over to stephaniedodier.com/training. And I'll see you on the other side.